Steelers, sacks taken the last 4 games, 4. Broncos, sacks per game. They're on pace for one of the great sack seasons in NFL history. Jordan Love has no wins this year when he's been sacked 3 or more times. He's 0-2. It's only happened a couple of times. They do a great job of protecting Jordan Love. The Broncos, they're talking about it being the best pass rush since the 1984 Bears. They're on pace for the most since 1989. Will the Packers be able to protect Jordan Love against the Denver Broncos? If the answer is yes, they win. If the answer is no, they lose.
I don't have a graphic, but I believe Love's been good against pressure this year. You might know that.
He's been below average against pressure this year.
I'm trying to fully.
I don't have that off the top of my head, but
No. Can Denver get to Jordan Love is what you're saying here. This one I got to say I didn't understand quite as much as the other one.
Oh no.
But now I get it. It just took me a second to get it. What, KW?
It's all right.
It's not as cool as the others. The other 2 stats were cool. We got to be honest. We got to be. No. I'm just telling you, the other 2 were eye popping.
I don't choose the stats.
So I wonder. Because what came into my head was the flip side matchup as well, which is Denver has been unbelievable at preventing sacks. Yet Bo Nix is one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. And what can Micah do and that Green Bay pass rush do to impact this game, where this is the excellent AFC team at home who is still an underdog. The Patriots were an underdog and it flipped. This one is sitting. That is a disrespectful 2.5 points. Green Bay going that on the road.
I think it's right, but it is disrespectful.
Because they're also Denver's on the crazy winning streak like the Patriots are.
And
they're both 11-2.
Even
crazier.
Love has a 55 passer rating against pressure. So
you should have been. Yeah. I just remembered.
Well, I'm going to go through the pressure stats because I got them right here. I don't need Dusty or Josh or anyone else in my ear. We got it. So, yes. Jordan Love hasn't been the best quarterback under pressure. That is true. He's got a 40.5 completion percentage. The yards is only so helpful because it all depends on how often you're under pressure. So it's like, what does that really mean? Like, someone can have a lot more yards or a lot less, and it's like, how many attempts are you having under pressure? 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Sorry, now you can see it. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The passer rating that I have here is 48.8. So yeah. I think him and Bo Nix do a good job. They also, it's not just that their quarterbacks, that their O-lines do a good job of protecting them. They do a great job of that. When the pressure does get there, they don't take the sacks. Jordan Love has been pressured 163 times, and Bo Nix 152. And Bo Nix has a 10.5 pressure to sack percentage, and Jordan Love 11. So, pretty much a toss-up there. And they both do a great job at either getting rid of the ball or scrambling around. Again, when under pressure, 21 throwaways for Jordan Love. Bo Nix, 25. 8 scrambles for Bo. Jordan Love, 13. So, yeah. I mean, it is interesting. Jordan Love definitely likes to take shots down the field when under pressure. He's definitely, not down the field as in 20-yard strikes necessarily, but definitely he's not quick just to dump it off. That's for sure. His average depth of target is over 10 yards, and so he definitely goes for it. It's definitely one of the higher average depths there. But again, when you're a quarterback, when you're a true passing quarterback like Jordan Love is, when you do have that pressure, like there are now some open receivers, you are looking hot, and so when you're good, you can take those chances. You can push it. But it hasn't been something, and again, I don't even put this all on Jordan Love. A lot of it is on the Packers, Matt LaFleur, the team as a whole, not just the individual quarterback itself, and we'll dig into that also a little bit more. But the reality is that the drop back percentage under pressure is 37.7%. For Bo Nix, it's 29.5%. So the Denver Broncos do a way better job at protecting protecting Bo Nix than the Green Bay Packers. And so the whole fact that Jordan Love is not taking a lot of sacks is big time credit on Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. I'll really kind of make that a little bit of a duo, because I do strongly believe that you need a coach to help you under pressure facing blitzes. They got to give you the solutions to the problem, as I always say. And so, yeah, under pressure is always a little bit of hit or miss with this. I mean, so occasionally you have some quarterbacks that are, crushing it under pressure. Like last year, and this will make sense in a second, Joe Burrow had 15 touchdowns under pressure. 15 touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 13. Lamar, 12. The next closest one was Brock Purdy at 8. If we go to this season right now, no one's really particularly close to that. Sam Darnold's at 8. Shout out Sam again. Obviously, Burrow hasn't played the whole season. But you got 8 for Herbert, then 7 for Tua, 7 for Daniel Jones. No one really seems that they're going to – I don't think Sam Darnold's about to double his touchdowns under pressure in the next few weeks. Probably unlikely. So it is interesting how that happens. Stafford, 6 right now. You'd like to see more success with Jordan Love there. But I'm not prepared just to be like, he's just not good under pressure. That's his Achilles heel. And that's why then I want to look at blitzes now. This is where the damage gets done that Jordan Love is great at, is attacking the blitz. 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's been blitzed 155 times. Stafford 172, excuse me. And they do a great job of minimizing that, where it's 68 pressures for Jordan Love, 64 pressures. So they're blitzing, but the pressure's not necessarily getting there, getting rid of the ball, et cetera, et cetera. And he's got a 112.7 passer rating, 125.5 for Matthew Stafford. This is what's impressive. So it's just do you want to blitz Jordan Love? Seemingly not. And it's funny because Colin has always said, you don't blitz great quarterbacks, right? You blitz bad quarterbacks. It's disrespectful to blitz quarterbacks. And it's I don't know how entirely true that is if Matthew Stafford has been blitzed 172 times this season. Josh Allen has been blitzed 162. So I don't know. But I mean, it is one of Jordan Love's strengths, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. 4th in the NFL in passer rating when being blitzed. Completion percentage 62.5%. All good stuff. And that is why I think it is somewhat misleading, because it says Green Bay 4 sacks allowed in the last 4 games. And I can go look at the last 4 games as well, but just for the whole season, Jordan Love is top 8 in percent of dropbacks under pressure, right? To put in context, Justin Herbert, who's got an absolute awful O-line, 42.5%. And I'll take a look in a second how much of that we can say is on Jordan Love in a moment. But again, it's the lack of sacks really fall more heavily at this point on Jordan and company, and not the not necessarily the O-line. So this is something that I wanted to make sure I point out. So now this is the percent of dropbacks with some responsibility when the pressure is allowed. Now this is definitely something that needs significant context, because you can see Lamar Jackson's really high, Josh Allen, Mahomes. These are hypermobile quarterbacks, always trying to make a big play, always trying to buy time in the pocket. So they're holding on to the ball, they're allowing the pressure get to them, and it's a part of their game. And Jordan Love is up there, nowhere near as high. He's still top 10, but he's, 18.7%. And it's, again, Lamar is obviously the highest with 28.6. Josh Allen not too far behind him, 24.6. And if you're looking at, again, it's not to say that Jordan Love isn't, mobile, because he is, but you don't look at Jordan Love as like the Mahomes, the Josh Allen, the Lamar in terms of mobility and what they look to do with their legs and constantly trying to hold on to the ball, buy time, move in and out, and whatnot. And so if you look at maybe someone that maybe is a slightly more comparable, example, like Spencer Rattler, no, I'm just kidding, like a Jared Goff, 13.9%, but it's tough because I'd say Jordan Love is clearly a lot more mobile than Jordan Love. But even like a Baker Mayfield at 9, which is actually pretty surprising. I would think that would be higher. Trevor Lawrence at 12. But Jordan Love is definitely looking more to make a play with his arm than anything else. And I think a lot of these other quarterbacks, like the Mars, like the Joshes, they want to make a throw too, and they'll scramble around and buy some time. But it's still, they're often in that in between where it's like, am I about to take off right now, or am I just letting it rip down the field? In a way that, again, that's just not going to be Jordan Love's game. But all in all, I'd say that the Packers just do a great job in general of limiting the overall pressures. Being set up to attack the blitz when there is a formal blitz now. Jordan Love does a good enough job of not inviting too much pressure unnecessarily. Like you could say Jacoby Brissett, right? Like he should not be that high. Cam Ward is up there, also probably for the wrong reasons at this point in his career, honestly. And so it's just that's what's going to make it really kind of interesting to go up against this Denver Broncos team, because this defense, because again, everyone is kind of looking at it, that's why they brought it up. They're trying to look at it through this lens of like the Denver Broncos are all about the sacks. They're all about getting after the quarterback, and the Packers are all about not. And that's why I was trying to kind of, dig through the stats a little bit, because it's not just like, oh, it's going to be tough for that Denver Broncos defense to get through the O-line. It's like, that's not quite the whole story. That's not quite the story. Like, they do a good enough job. They're not an open door here either. But a lot of it is Jordan Love and his decision making. And also, will the Broncos be able to generate that pressure without having to blitz, without having to, really get after it, because they don't want to do that, because then Jordan Love is in a position to pick you apart, and that'll be kind of an interesting signal early in the game if the Broncos are able to generate pressure without blitzing. But if they do blitz, how early in the game is Jordan Love able to get after that, to really make them pay for it? We'll probably see that pretty early on. But this is what makes what Jordan Love has been doing so impressive right now, because it said, in the last 4 games, only 4 sacks have been allowed, and Jordan Love is being pressured 41.4% of his dropbacks. Like, again, like that's pretty darn high. That's Geno Smith and Justin Herbert level, and rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders level, where they are now just blitzing Shedeur nonstop because they're like, you're a rookie quarterback, let's get after you. So that's that's ridiculously high. And yet, for the most part, limiting the damage. No touchdowns, but no interceptions, so no turnovers. A high enough completion percentage, not necessarily making them pay in any measurable way, but not taking the losses, as you can see. Only the 4 sacks there. But like, that is elite right now. 8.7 pressure to sack percentage. But also, he's having time. 3.3 seconds to throw. 3.3 seconds. And this will be the last pressure stat that I show you. This shows you, though, right now, that it has been pretty well balanced. with what the O-line has been able to do over these last 4 games, because Jordan Love was only pressured in those 4 games 9 times in under 2.5 seconds. Only 9 times. I mean, that's great. To put this in context, Jalen Hurts is double that with 18. And, you know, over 2.5 seconds, Jalen Hurts was pressured 34 times, and Jordan Love only 36 times. So again, that's a pretty big swing. You know, over 2.5 seconds, especially in Jordan Love's case, like that's going to be moments when someone's just not open, or you know, I don't think I would ever classify him as just holding on to the ball or like missing a throw or unwilling to let it rip in that moment. So I think in many of these cases, more often than not, someone's just not open, and now he's just kind of trying to look and wait for something. Then eventually, you know, you got to kind of buy yourself time. Pressure gets to you over, you know, at this point over 3 seconds, because then, you know, under pressure and over 2.5, or he's got 3. You know, over 2.5 seconds, his average time to throw is 3.5 seconds. So I don't know, just a few little extra nerdy stats. Hopefully it made sense. It is what's going to make this game kind of fascinating, because I do think this is why Danny took it this way, and it's why Nick was kind of like, what are you exactly trying to say here? It's just trying to really zoom into being like, how is this game necessarily won or lost? And what's so interesting too is that, like, Matt LaFleur also has the ability to just be like, we're just going to run a ton, and then it's like a lot of this becomes moot, right? Like, or the Denver's defense, the Packers defense is able to really swallow up and disrupt Bo Nix, and they're not able to really get much going. Then it just really kind of opens up the door for the Packers to really just, you know, when you're able to slow down an offense, it just you get to play exactly how you want to play. Like you dictate the terms and conditions. And so you'd be like, we can just keep running the ball, and we could just, you know, be conservative and come away with the win, and just try to be smart and rely on our defense, or we could just take the chances that we want, right? You know, kind of sit back, allow this pressure to get to us, and then, you know, pick them apart, and take these big swings down the field. And, you know, Jordan Love over these last couple of weeks, like, that's how he's made them pay significantly. In those 4 weeks, when blitzed, 5 touchdowns. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. They're just like, fine, we're going to take it, and we're just going to rip your head off with it. Like, this is what he's done in those last 4 games. They're like, please blitz us. Like, we welcome it. We are making you pay. He's actually technically the highest rated quarterback in those last 4 weeks when facing the blitz. So they're all about it. And he's feeling really comfortable with these kind of like a little back pedal, letting it rip off your back foot. Like he's real comfortable in that regard right now. So that's why I'm just fascinated to see how the Denver Broncos are looking to handle this. And is it about even necessarily trying to, obviously the Broncos want to get to him. You always want to get to the quarterback, but at what cost? At what cost? So, I don't know. We'll see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Green Bay Packers? You know, what Danny's saying, Green Bay and Denver is the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Who do you think kind of wins out in this whole pressure battle? Do you think it matters that much as they were trying to make it out to be, and then as much as I doubled down on how much it matters in terms of this being a key point in how this game is won or lost? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.